Yes, you understand why? They're all been reaching out all the Africans and to the African Good Show. Robinson, no respect and justice for all. Be a you can decide if you Matthew Robinson all the way in Switzerland. You too. The Black Fire Radio. And you're listening to.
Falling in love with who I am. I don't have time for anything that's gonna harm me. Maybe hard to understand. Words have the power to empower or destroy me. I'm looking inside now, claiming what I lost and found. I'm on this journey, turning to the old me. So I can face it more. I'm in the mood to love every single part of me. Wanna go to the place I can breathe. I don't care, strip away, set a feet. Meant to be, found a way, always be, I believe. So because you let me down, when you can't be wrong, all those dreams you saw me, you saw me. I can't get the whole dream now.
Radio. And you're listening to the Pan-African Bliss Show every Monday, Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Bliss Show. Let's go.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, karibuni sana to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black Fire Network radio station. Karibuni sana, and happy holidays to everyone who is right here with me. Shout out to Ndudu, shout out to Derek. I see you on the YouTube channel. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and of course, I hope you're having a happy, amazing festival season wherever or however you are celebrating it. Karibuni sana once again. It is exactly 39 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in the 2.4. My weekend was amazing. I had a blast, and of course, karibuni sana. Hope you can also share your beautiful moments, whatever you got to do or whatever you did during the weekend. This is the Black Fire Network radio station, media of the 21st century. And of course, I want a very quick shout out to everyone with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on the radio station, on Rumble, right here on TikTok with me. Karibuni sana na check it kona. I can't pronounce that name. Manze karibu sana. And of course, welcome to the vibe. Welcome to Karibuni. Screenshot to Robert Williams. Also see you. Karibuni Sana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. That was Halo by the one and only Aquila. I don't know if that is her name. Aquila. I really can't pronounce the name. It sounds so French, sounds so, I can't literally pronounce the name, but I'm in love with this song. It's literally like a healing song. And actually, I've literally seen it trending most of the times on TikToks, on Instagram, and only the first part of it was the captured literally moment. But the time I paid attention to the rest of the song, I was like, wow, how did I miss this? But anyway, Karibuni Sana, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. And of course, we'll be getting back to the music one more time. But today's conversation shall be about Africa and the people. We keep on talking about, rather, for so long, the continent has been labeled a lot of negativities. The people who label us, and the people who give us the tags, don't want to claim their history. We look at their history. Folks, the white man only talking about what Africa did, what they did. What about you? Who literally gets? I've not seen Indian, any Chinese man, any Asian, any European stand up and claim this is our history. This is where we came from. The claim of how inventors, they won't claim us being the first people to civilize this world, but they want to claim being the first people being in this world. Today I shall be having a very amazing conversation, so stick through till the end of the show. I want to just generally just talk about how Africa has been mocked for so long by people who are literally, and in the truth sense, because this is the truth, they are beggars. And this is what you see from my topic. I've called them beggars, but they're always lecturing Africa. Isn't that funny? So Karibuni Sana, hope you guys get to enjoy the show. I'll be also talking about and taking you back to a story that conspired. That was in 2022. We had 70 children who died because of cough syrup that was, which came from India. And of course, again, the same people who keep on mocking us and are trying to kill us won't claim of their true deeds and who they are and what they're literally looking for in the continent. I'll be discussing that because I can see there's some new investigations. Remember, the Indian government was the one who took charge of the investigations, not the Gambian government. And of course, they tried to even compensate the women and of course the people who are victims of losing their children, but they refused. They say that they need justice, and until today, this is a matter that is still being discussed. We shall also talk about something that happened in Nigeria. That is yesterday. You can see there are still bandits who are disturbing the village, but of course, it's funny how Tinubu is very busy sanctioning and of course lecturing Niger for them taking a stand of becoming a true independent country, but won't even dare secure his country. All he does is buy bulletproof cars for his wife and a whole chopper, for vacations. And they say that the president should not actually be questioned about that. Karibuni Sana once again. My name is Jovi, in case you're here for the first time. And of course, I hope you guys get to enjoy the show. This is Truth or Dare by the one and only Tyler. Hope you guys get to enjoy it, man. I love the way this gun is on.
I just wish you'd see how you want me back and all the see you try to come to my place and I'm so fun. Oh, baby.
Man, I'm jamming to this song. Now you can. Yes, and my quote of the day today is about it's okay, and it says that it's okay to make mistakes, to have bad days, to be less than perfect, to do what's best for you. Just be yourself, literally. Be yourself. Once again, this is Tyler with Truth or Dare Hope you guys get to jump onto this. I see we got Busy Melody, karibu sana. You're saying hi, mna nice Vinoma, karibu sana, asante sana. And of course, welcome to the Black Hot Fan Network radio station. In case this is your first time, right, kindly tap the screen and of course follow the host. We're also allowed to gift kama unaweza gift. Karibuni sana once again. And of course, my name is Joby. This is the Pan African Bliss. Enjoy this. I'll be coming back straight with the news and updates. Well, you can send your link to this number 0705428. Let me get that correctly. Let me get that correctly. Yeah, you can send a link to 07054283888. That is our WhatsApp number. Put it on our playlist and of course, karibu sana. Karibuni sana. Yes, welcome back. This is the Black Hot Fan Network radio station media of the 21st century. 46 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in the 254. And of course, good morning, good afternoon to all my amazing listeners from Facebook, YouTube, on the radio station, and of course, right here on TikTok. Now, take it busy. Melody, unasema you're too fast. Okay, I'll take it slow. Karibu sana. And the number is 07054283888. That is the WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp there to my link, and of course, touch it. Ngoma zako kama zinabamba, of course we'll add it to our playlist. And of course, welcome to the Pan African Bliss. My name is Joby. We bring this every Monday to Friday, and of course on Wednesday only we have the Wednesday lockdown session from 12 to 1:30. And of course, I hope you guys get to enjoy the conversation. Our app should be back. And of course, if you don't have it, kindly rush to the Google Play Store, download the Black Hot Fan Network application. Like I always say, one thing I love about our app is you can be able to chat with your family, friends on Instagram, WhatsApp, use your email page, whatever you can literally want to do with your phone, as you still get a chance to stream on the Black Hot Fan Network radio station. You'll not be able to miss any programs because we have programs from 8 a.m. till 12 midnight, sometimes latest. But of course, I hope you guys get to do that. And you can also purchase some merchandise in case you want some hoodies. For the ladies, we got handbags, got you covered. And of course, also Marvins, we got mugs, anything you would like to purchase over there. Karibuni sana once again. Straight to the matters of the day. I want to start with this story that is coming. I've found this from Leo. Internet acting up. 2 days ago, we had Libya celebrate its anniversary of their independence. That the state of Libya, of course, that's covered about. Let's talk about who are true leaders and who are sellouts, because we've seen the system of education that we have in Africa. A very interesting conversation yesterday with a few friends of mine of how it's so crazy again and wicked how the white man was able and managed to capture the young mentality. And it's at it from the angle of where we're so miseducated, we don't know anything but just what the white man literally gave us, which brought me to talk about what I want to discuss today, breaking it down just solely. White man literally address their history. Where do they come from? What is the origin of your existence? Fine, you keep saying how we evolved from monkeys and all that types of lies, which we've been taught in school. Majority of us bought it, but you won't speak about your history. It's always Africa discussion on the table. It's very funny. But back to Libya. I want to share this very quickly before I get to other matters. And I hope my screen, my internet doesn't act up, because I see it's really, really slow. It's not a video. It's an Gaddafi had Libya. Gaddafi's Libya was one of the wealthiest oil-producing nations in the world. And that is for a fun fact. That is for a fact. Today, it's plagued with civil war, foreign interference, terrorism, and slavery. What happened? That is the question. Before Gaddafi came to power, the oil fields were controlled by foreign companies, and Libya was one of the poorest countries in the region. The king of the kings made education and medical care free, and we read that out. I remember there's a time we did a show on the Africa Today show, a whole show, I think, about discussing about Libya's downfall. The king of kings made education and medical care free and gave all the newlyweds $50,000. He nationalized the oil industry and petrol costs at $0.14 a liter, literally like what we have now, the Saudi Arabians buying. Because if you can remember, we did also check the cost of oil in the Arabic countries, literally in the Middle East. It's 0 points. While Africa literally gets to buy the most or suffers the consequences when others are getting it for free. It's funny. Libya had no external debt and foreign reserves of $150 billion. And they also saying that, but Gaddafi, who came to power in 1969, had a problem with the West and their foreign policy across Africa and the Middle East. And one day on his speech, he made a quote and said, why didn't they investigate the killing of Saddam Hussein, an Arab leader who was executed yet sits on the sidelines? Why? And any one of you could be next. Is that true? That is true. Little did they know that he was next. The Arab Spring saw thousands of Libyans protest against Gaddafi, autocratic rule, and democracy and freedom was the pretext of NATO's regime-changing bombing campaign. Libya is still far from democratic state as we speak today. It's divided between two rival factions in the east and west. Both camps are supported by foreign powers, violating a UN arms embargo and violently clashing for the last 11 years. What is the state of Libya today? Literally, that is the biggest question. What should happen? Conflict in Libya has internally displaced more than 200,000 people and left 1.3 million in need of humanitarian assistance. Libya became a hotspot for arms proliferation, destabilizing the Sahel region in 2014, and ISIS extremists set up a camp in the city of Sirte. Literally, the question is today, more than 500,000 people have been displaced. And if you look at the people who are literally suffering the consequence of this, let's talk about the true people of Libya, because we know the people who are there are invaders. They're not the true people of Libya. I'm not speaking at this point of where checking of who is in the continent and who isn't, which literally really matters. But when will Africa take what is literally theirs? Because it's always lectures and lectures and lectures. If you look at all this historic or this short story about Libya and its downfall, it's all because we've had people lecturing us. No, this cannot work with this better. We need, our direction is the best one. Why will Africa make its own decision? That is what Gaddafi was trying to literally do. But what happened? They assassinated him. Any true leader who has literally stood up for making Africa better, they have ensured it won't literally go so far. Conclusion of this, personally, I saw that we need majority of the people, like what is happening right now in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. When we speak about these three leaders being very careful of the people who are literally drawn close to him, who work for him, if they can be trusted or if they're going to be sellouts again, that is a question that needs to be addressed to the whole continent. Why, if we pick a leader, we must be having people who are willing not to literally become traitors. Africa lacks what it lacks today because of lack of unity, which we've discussed again over and over, lack of trust, and too much corruption. That was just a short story I wanted to give there. But you go figure, literally. Just figure out for the rest of the continent, the rest of the African nations. It's always us being called beggars, being labeled names, but the people who are giving us the tags won't claim why they are on the continent and won't let the continent literally make up its own mistakes. They won't allow the continent to solve its own problems. There must be an interference of the international communities. You figure out that. But moving on very swiftly, I'm taking you straight to Gambia, sorry. And of course, like I said, this is a story that happened, or something that happened that was in 2022, where we had 70 children who died because of an Indian cough syrup that was imported into the country. This Indian cough syrup didn't only affect children in Gambia, but also affected children in Nigeria, which is barely spoken about, and some parts of also right here in Kenya. Is this the first time where we're seeing cases of medication going nay, especially when it comes to Africans? Of course not. But I see that there's another article. Of course, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because investigations are still literally being done. And there's a pharmacy that has been accused, a pharmaceutical company that has been accused of tampering with the investigations that were being done. They're saying that a pharmaceutical company whose cough syrup have been linked to deaths of the children in Gambia has denied it had tampered with the test samples or bribed officials to do so. Where there is smoke, there is fire. So basically, and the truth is that the results were tampered with. Wherever the test samples were literally being handled, which I last remember, it was India handling this case. Again, back to where I'm asking, when will Africa be able to make up its own decision when it comes to mistakes being done? The same person literally doing the damn or bringing the problem is the same person to bring us a solution. Does that literally make any sense? You can't try poison me today, but I'm still to trust you. Help me find a solution towards why you are trying to poison me. Make that make sense to me. That is basically what Africa is on. The denial from the Indian maiden pharmaceutical comes in the face of an allegation made against in a complaint under investigation by local health officials in India. Authorities in the state of Haryana's Food and Drug Administration on Friday said that they were close to finishing a probe into whether a state drug regulator was bribed to switch samples tested by the Indian government, and that was contradicted. And that contradicted the World Health Organization finding of toxic substances in the cough syrup. Maiden founder, who I won't read the name, is reported to have vehemently. Reuters news agency said a competitor was behind. Basically, what I learned from this story as I was reading the article is that they're trying to deny what is truly there. The results were tampered with. And of course, investigations, they're not going to. These victims, the parents of the children who died from this cough syrup, won't get any justice. This is how Africa has been for the longest time. If it's not you bribing someone to get what you want, if you don't have money, literally just sit aside. Inequality. Until when? We have people sitting on the high table while majority are literally suffering. That is Africa today. Nobody's going to be questioned or face the consequences of their actions. And that's where the tags come from, literally. Africans are weak. Africans will never fight. Africans don't know where they stand. Africans are too tribal. Africans are this. Africans are everything. Africans are what? I want to share this very quickly, which is going to relate. We have this man who gives a speech, not literally a speech, but a lecture to France. He talks about how they don't want to leave the continent without a fight. They have continuously brought their people right here in the name of their helping us, which is not true. And speaking from the heart, this guy gives a French commuters a quick lesson about respect, which Africans deserve. I always love relating with a video Keith once shared with me of this Nigerian woman who was begging a Mzungu for money. The Mzungu asked the lady, why won't you question your government? You are the government, literally, which we don't know. We are the power. Our voice should make a change, which doesn't majority of the times because of the people who sit on the table. And not only literally on the table, always under the table, where they think they are on the table, under the table. The Mzungu asked again, why are you always begging while your continent is so rich? I mean, these people know this, but only Africans don't have a clue of how wealthy we are. Only us. Again, I relate to a video I shared some time back, I think last week, where this guy said, everyone believes in Africa and the people, but not Africans. Only we don't believe in ourselves. We're full of doubts, full of tribalism, full of jealousy, full of hatred, and too much ignorance as well. The rest of the world sees the opportunities in Africa while we run away from them. It's crazy. Let me share this. I'll translate what he says. Depends on Africa, but Africa gets no respect, which is true.
Voilà le message que je voulais faire passer ici. Les Africains, vous voyez, ne rentrez pas dans ce jeu où il y a trop d'immigrés. Ne rentrez pas dans ce jeu-là où on vous dit que le bouc émissaire, c'est lui.
Demands France to stop looking down on Africans and passionately states it's Africa that's supporting France, not the other way round. His message from February last year gets applause on the metro, and the activists wants France about. Let me read that again. We want France, and the activist wants France is about to miss the train of history if it doesn't change this attitude. Revolution is gonna be the way, and which actually I believe it's true because it's always been us who are beggars. Oh, Kenya did get a loan from the IMF. Nigeria just took a loan from the IMF. You know, Ghana just took a loan from the IMF. Ghana is the most indebted country, yet the richest country in cocoa production and gold production. But you are in debt. This is so funny. Let me tell you, sometimes when you talk about the African history and not to brag for learning the truth and knowing the truth. But if you look at sometimes when you talk about the Africa situations and everything that is going on a daily basis, it's something to laugh about. Because how are we in the very rich continent? Makes the very biggest, largest cocoa production and gold production, but yet the poorest. That is funny for real. That is so funny. Very funny. And what's even more funny, you find the majority of the people know the truth, but we can't do anything. Because we don't even understand that power is within our hands. But that is what is happening with the Gambia cough syrup And like I said, personally, I know that these investigations, we should forget about them. Nothing is going to happen because they even keep on lying about the number of the children who died. They say sometimes it's 66, sometimes it's 7. India is the one doing the investigations and for answers. We've seen cases of freedom fighters. Since when have we had the debates of lands, money, that they went through, which is always being discussed every day, but nothing changes? It's like you keep on whining. We did what we did. And that's what I'm asking. It's time for Africans to start questioning the history of this white man. Who is he? Where did he come from? How did he just... Who is he? Because there's nowhere we're told the history of Mzungu. This is just the truth. We're not taught where this man came from, or he's just God. You should not question God. Don't question God. Of course, indeed, he's Jesus. And since we took the resemblance of all the white people should be respected because they come from the clan of Jesus, you know, nobody questions. Even if they are tribalistic, nobody questions any of that. But it's always Africans on the table. Is anyone going to address that? White people? That is just a question, you know. We'd love to have this debate. Are you going to address of your true nature, where you come from? Who are you? Are you going to address to Africans why you keep on calling them beggars while you're literally the beggar? You keep on lecturing the people of the continent. You keep on lecturing the continent, how pathetic, giving all sorts of images to the world, literally. Gaining from YouTube because of showcasing our poverty porn. Be bet. Moving on to Nigeria, there have been many people who have had to flee the central parts of Nigeria because of attack. This actually happened yesterday, and we've had at least 160 people who are killed in attacks by armed groups between Saturday evening and Monday in several villages that is in the Plateau State, the central parts of Nigeria. The local authorities were the ones that gave this information yesterday morning. The hostilities that broke out on Saturday were continuing on Monday morning, and the chairman of the Bokos Government Council, a constituency located in the region that has been plagued by religious and ethnic tensions for several years, told the AFP. At least 113 bodies have been found, he added, where the death toll is given by the army on Sunday evening, which was 16. On Sunday, it was 16. Waking up to yesterday, it was 113. And more than 300 people were wounded and transferred to hospitals in Bokos, Jos, and Bakin Ladi. I think those are the regions over there. And they're saying that the armed groups, locally referred to as bandits, attacked no less than 20 villages between Saturday evening and Monday morning. He added, stressing that attacks were well coordinated. In addition, of course, they were well coordinated. In addition of that, 113 dead in the Bokos constituency. At least 50 people were killed in 4 villages in the neighboring Bakin Ladi constituency. This is so sad to report. And of course, I want to see, like I said earlier, sanctioning Niger, the neighboring country, for what they did, which is true democracy, which people have been demanding for so long. This is what Nigeria literally requires, a coup, a whole coup, so that things might to take a change and a turn. It's funny how you address my situation in my house while your house is very, very dirty. You know, why don't you clean yours first? Let me deal with mine. This is so crazy. Of course, this is well coordinated. We know US is, we were reading the article. Remember the article I was reading on Friday or on Wednesday about all this US operation in Africa. They call it the US operation. Joe Mosquito Karibu Sana. Hello to you too. I remember you gave it a name, the operation, US operation in Africa. What was the name you gave it? There was a name you gave it. He had to terrorize just Africans. Of course, it's well coordinated. Where in a very poor country where people are swimming in sewages, where do you get the money to literally afford to buy guns? Number one question. Where is the money? Like, I mean, you wanna just go online, scam people, and then come back just buy guns to become a bandit? Don't you wanna own a home, own a business? Don't you wanna travel toward the world? Like, don't you wanna live life? You just wanna go scam people and then come back? That's a lie. Well funded, well coordinated, because they know what they're doing. There's always something they're looking for in these regions. If you literally, whatever is happening in Congo, copy and paste, in every African country, we're facing it. People being dislocated from left, right, and center, having to evacuate and run away from war that you don't know where it's coming from. Just all of a sudden, this village has been attacked. Why? What is in that village on that ground? That's what we want to know first. Because I remember when I was sharing this video of the Congolese woman, she explained very well. The continent, this country is full of wealth. That's why they're here. And that's through the help of Rwanda and Congo. And it's funny if you say Kagame said he doesn't know where the Rwandese came from in Congo. I mean, yes, we have Africans everywhere, but you don't know that these people are Rwandese, or because you're not a Rwandese. It's crazy, man. It is busy. These are serious action that should be taken. And of course, nothing will happen, because I remember there's an article I read some time back where we had the previous president, where we had students kidnapped. A number of children and students kidnapped where he was on a vacation. Just his neighboring, literally. I'm here on a vacation where I'm supposed to be literally the president, where there's a lot of security. And all these motorcades and high guards they have kept for themselves. Do you want to tell me where I'm supposed to go have a rest for vacation? Students are being abducted there, and you don't know anything about it. This is Charlie. Oh, this is a coincidence. This happened. That's all they'll say. Coincidence. Sad. It is very, very sad. Of course, they conducted the elections this month. We waited. That was last week. We're waiting to see what the results are going to be. Who's going to be the president? We had 25 candidates standing and vying for presidency. 25. One of them being scared, vying for another seat, a second term, after fulfilling nothing. After they win, the next minute you see them running to the US to get clarity and assurance, you did well. Now this is what you're going to do. We've given you power. We're going to give you money. You can steal all you want, do nothing for the people, but we want this. Those are the demands and the decisions. And this is what I'm asking. Till when will Africa be lectured? That's my topic. In everything I'm discussing, I'm revolving around that. Till when will Africa will continue? Ain't we tired of being lectured like children? I hate lectures personally. Don't shout at me. Don't. I hate lectures. So ain't Africans tired of lectures? Especially these presidents. Like, you're a whole man, but you're going to take demands from someone else who's less of a human. Do you know even the history? Again, back to the history. What's the history of this white man? It's never discussed anywhere. That's just I came to figure out this. We're discussing. I had a really, really amazing time yesterday, and we had a really, really good discussion with the group I was with, where we're trying to question, literally, if you look at the books, there's nowhere where you'll ever study about the existence of Mzungu. It's always about Africans on the table. Or we evolved as monkeys. We evolved, all the lies they told us. We came back crawling. We came back standing. We came back what? What about you? Mr. knows everything, Madam knows everything. We want to understand, where do you come from? Who are you? What's the existence or true history behind a white man, a white man's creation? Or should we go with the Bible, which we know is a lie? Or, Adam and Eve were white women and a white man. Where did black people come from all along the line of white people? Where did it come from if they truly claim Adam and Eve were white people? How did melanin just come on the way? How did melanin just pop? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining, Johnny. I'm sorry if you're not getting the topic. That's why you are the position which you are. We're not the same, baby. We're not the same. Have an amazing Christmas. Yeah, don't be bitter. Have an amazing holiday. I'm just questioning, yeah? It's a question. We've learned for so long about the existence of Africans. I've been told we came from monkeys, evolved to this and this. We came back, now we're standing right now, But my question is, where is it in history have we been taught about the existence of a white man? Shout out to you. Chase, thank you so much for following us. You're saying Grand Rising, beautiful Grand Rising to you too. Shout out to Richard. You're saying I am white. I'd love to know. Can you explain to me, what's your history? Like, where do you guys come from? Because we know for us Africans, they've really lied. That's lies they have told us. They have told us we came from monkeys, we came from this. But what about you, Richard? I'd really love to understand. What's your history? Because we know the Bible is also a lie. I don't know about you, but for me, no, it was never Adam and Eve. We were the first to exist. But I'd love to know, maybe you know some facts that I don't. Facts that I don't. I'd really love to know. Kindly type it down. I'd really love to know. But of course, as we move on and as we get closer to winding up, last week we had France, not France, but Pope Francis acknowledging same-sex marriage. And I was trying to find a video which I wanted to share with you guys, which was speaking about, and I thought deep about this, which we see most of the African countries, of course, say no about homosexualism, the LGBTQ human rights nonsense and all that. I sat down and thought about this before I get to read what has to say about the situation. Africa accepting homosexuality behavior and all these agendas, which it's an agenda. Agenda 2030 of depopulation, which is them dying out, actually, not us. We still keep on producing, the fertility will not end. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Agenda 2030. And another agenda I sat down because there's this video I was watching of the UN club members who sat down. They were on a meeting. It was on BitChute and I've tried finding it again. I couldn't see it. I really wished I shared it on the chat or maybe on WhatsApp. But this woman said, and I think I discussed this actually on Wednesday too. She said that pedophilia is a feeling. Okay? Pedophilia is a feeling that nobody should be denied. If you feel like you want to be a pedophile, that is okay. I mean, till when will these pedophiles be denied the chance to be in themselves? So you'll die because you'll die out of, desperation, and you'll die for never not knowing love. I'm quoting the video. Okay? So I sat down and thought about this. We've seen how we have Africans, and I'm speaking this from the perspective of Africans. We've seen how Africans, I hope TikTok does not shut me down. We've seen how Africans, that those who go with the agenda, in parts of Uganda, we've seen, of course, the serious consequences that has come with it, which we've seen the rest of the world demonstrating, going all rogue on the internet because of Uganda's decision on homosexuality. But have we sat down and thought what this is all about? If you're talking about pedophilia, we're talking about molesting children. Children molestation. So once we allow homosexuality in the continent, we're literally saying yes, which is already happening. We have these Mzungus coming right here and making all sorts of money with all types of video and tapes that they are doing. We've seen it in South Africa. Do you know what we're literally getting ourselves into? I just want you to sit down, to all the Black people. Sit down and have a talk with your family members. Have a talk with the rest of the world and educate what is really happening, because this is serious. We literally allow pedophilia in our community. Yes, because it comes with all those groups. Sit down and think about it. It's very, very deep. Very deep. I see Yachiz says, Yachiz, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You see, the homosexuality is taking over here in the US. I need to move. It's crazy, man. It is super, super crazy. For you guys, actually, it's even more worse if you have a baby, because you've seen what the UN, of course, passed. That was in July this year, where they said if you don't allow your child to feel how they're supposed to feel, if I'm a boy and I feel like a girl, and I can't tell you as my parent, I feel like a girl, well, you gave birth to me as a boy, and you deny that, the government has the right to take the child away from you. And they can literally operate on these kids and change, talking about all types of just crazy stuff. Remember, there's an article we were reading about it. You can find more of that literally on these sites that are not controlled. Rumble. It's way worse in the United States. And that's why I'm thinking about it right here back in the continent, of the effect of it. This is huge. If you're talking about pedophiles, which you're seeing what TD Jakes is coming out about, which he said, do you guys see the video? Did you guys see the video? He said he shall not address anything. No lies on the altar. No lies, you know, no lies. But if you think about it, we have molesters in this industry, even the government itself. We won't say names, but we have them. So once if we don't fight this actually in the continent, your children are next. I was watching another video. This is crazy. I was watching another video. I was making this as a joke until I saw another video of a whole Black man who has beards and everything, going to a woman's bathroom. There's a kid over there. So the man comes in defense of, hey, you're a man. What are you doing in a women's bathroom? I'm a woman with a whole bed. I'm a woman. And they're getting confidence in it. They're gaining confidence in it because the government is also protecting them. If this is being called a human right, then we're really, really going wrong. Because the next thing is, he's still a man. I don't think anything changes you being a man. You're still a man. You can still go hard and still rape me in the bathroom. So you're not a woman. You have beards all in your face. What are you talking about? Shout to Nicola. Thank you so much for following the host. But it's super crazy. But in Nigeria, I want to read this very, very quickly. Pope Francis has formally approved letting Catholic priests bless the same-sex couples, a radical shift in policy aimed at making the church more inclusive while maintaining its strict ban on gay marriages. Fun fact, just as a person that, in Kenya, we have a church that actually is only a church that is only for gays. I was reading this last week on an article released by BBC. In Kenya, we have a church that is just all about homosexuality, and the priest is gay. So he says it's crazy how he doesn't understand he's Black and he's gay, but people don't love him. I'm like, okay. Do you get the fun fact of first where you're Black? Go back, you're Black. You know, it's crazy. But the same, but while the Vatican statement was heralded by some as a step towards breaking down discrimination in the Catholic Church, some Nigerians have frowned on the pronouncement. In Nigeria, where same-sex marriage has been criminalized for decade, the Catholic Bishops Association said the Pope's declaration does not contradict the Church's teaching on marriage as an exclusive union of a man and a woman. The Pope's message has created confusion among the Catholic faithful in parts of Africa, including Nigeria, where many within the Catholic Church think it's evil, while a few others are more liberal. On the streets of Lagos, a few residents reacted strongly toward the Pope's message and says God did not make a mistake by creating Adam and Eve. Back to it again. I'd love to know, where did this guy go? I asked him, see, and this is why you know the truth. They can't even define their own history. Where's Richard? He said he's white, but he can't define his history. I asked a very simple question. You claim first, you're the first people to exist. Yes, Adam and Eve, you are white. Okay, where did the lineage of black people come from? Where do we come from? Where did melanin pop from? Because it doesn't make sense until you have sexual intercourse, okay? Until you have sexual intercourse with a white man or a black woman, you can't have a mulatto. Continue. Come on. They can't even explain. I say you need to move to Nigeria. Man, good luck with that. Okay. I mean, Africa is good. I'm not gonna lie, but I'd love you to come to Kenya. Okay. Try Kenya first. Try Kenya. Try Tanzania. Actually, try Rwanda. Is really, really good in terms of investment in business. It's really good. Nigeria, I really think personally for me, it's kind of messed up. I don't think not all the parts of Nigeria, and I'm not speaking from the perspective like I've been there, but I give reports every time about Nigeria. And all the Nigerian brothers, please don't come after me, okay? I'm just saying the truth. It's just the truth. I don't know if you're ready for Nigeria. You should look, I don't know how much you've done investigations about, maybe if you're coming in terms of business, moving here for real, because we have a lot of black diaspora people trying to come back to the continent. For us, we're trying to, you can literally just join us and we'll give you some guides, just be tuning in and you'll get some tips on how you can literally do all that. I also see you're saying that Adam was a nation of people. Well, I'm not going to dwell on the Bible so much. I just wanted Richard to tell me the existence of white men, because he's not told me anything. I asked, white people, not white men, but white people in general. I'd love to understand that. You're also saying that a lot of people want me to come to Kenya. Yes, come to Kenya. It's really, really nice. Trust me. It's really nice. I mean, just despite that right now we really have a really messed up president, but it's really Tanzania as well. Business has been invested there. So I'd really also advise you to go to Tanzania. It's really, really dope. And I also see Ican Fire in the building. My internet is messing up on StreamYard. Let me try come back. All right. Apologies for those who are with me on StreamYard. I see my internet is buffering a lot. I see Ican Fire, Karibu Sana. You're saying that Keon, people should secretly delete those priests. I know, that's right. And also saying that Kenya secretly, excuse me, Kenya and secretly delete this priest. People, yeah, they should, but actually, it's crazy. I didn't know about that church. It's barely spoken or even, I didn't know about it when BBC released the article. A church in Kenya where they allow literally gays only, homosexuality is only to go to the church. I was kind of surprised. And the priest is gay and he's proud to say, I'm black. Shame on you. You're not a man. You're not a man. Okay? Just shut up when men are talking. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. But yeah, let me continue the article a little bit before it gets closer to winding up. They're saying that on the streets of Lagos, a few residents reacted strongly on the Pope's message. They say that God did not make a mistake by creating Adam and Eve. Says Esbon, he felt it was imperfect, or if he wanted the world to go in the certain direction in which the Pope wants it to go into, when he was asking Noah to choose two animals, whatever. This is all Bible discussion. He says that the main purpose of creation was there for procreation, to multiply. If we do same-sex marriage, How would that come to pass? That is the question. Of course, like I said, this is an agenda about the population, and I'm glad to see that Africans are questioning about the multiplication and reproduction all about. And they're saying that following the announced Barrister, that Pope's announcement, Barrister said that Pope's announcement does not change the law in Nigeria. The law in Nigeria today is that marriage under the Act, whether it is conducted or contracted in the church or in a registry, it is between a man and a woman. The rest is nonsense. That is what they say. And of course, which I totally agree. Because once again, I want you to sit down and think about where, if Africa, you allow this, like I'm saying, we have pedophilias within the government state itself. These rulers of the country. Number one, child traffickers. It still perplexed me or phases me every time I remember that video kids shared with me of children found in a plane in Chad. I can still remember if it was Chad or Malawi. I confused between the two. But the government says they don't know. These children just popped out of nowhere. Of course you know. You lead the country. Where is security? You claim you have security. Where is the security here? How did children just walk in a plane? All of them, and they're crying. Number one, child traffickers. If we literally don't fight this, we're saying yes to pedophiles straight away. And it's going to be our children, especially in these schools. And where Africa poverty porn is always being used against us, literally. You know, let me help you with this. Let me help your children with this. This is what Madonna, Oprah, and all these people who came to Africa in the name of donations, what they're doing. You need to be very careful. Think about it. Again, as I wind up, my question is, Africa and the people, will you let go of beggars? And you won't let go without a fight. This is not actually a question. This is a demand. You need to let go of beggars because we ain't beggars as the people of the country. We are not beggars. Richard, I wanted you to tell me your true existence of history. You've not. You've not. You just like in my video as you passed by. I want you to explain to me your true existence of history. We know of Africans told. I want to understand yours. But Africa must let go of beggars because the realistic and the fact is that Africa, not only were we the rich people, we're still the rich people. This is still the richest continent globally. And that's facts. The rest of the history that has been interchanged and tagged by the white man, we don't know it. The true history written by our ancient ancestors, which is still left behind because we have people who know history and which is still coming out. We must let go of beggars. Enough of the lecturing. We must stand for ourselves. That is my show of today. I see Cheese. Your name is really hard to pronounce. You're saying that I need someone to show me around. Well, I'm here. Literally, I'd call myself also a tour guide because that's what basically we were doing in Tanzania. I'm going to be going back soon in March. And yeah, I'll be doing also a couple of tours for those who are coming down to Tanzania this time. And I see John Mosquito says that I think they were being smuggled to France. I think so because I remember I can't remember it was, I try to remember which country though, between the two. Was it Chad or Malawi? Where the children were found on the plane. Was it Chad or Malawi? I don't know, but I think it's Chad. I tend to think it's Chad because I can't remember completely. Shout out to Good One. Thank you so much for following me, following the host. Shout out to Original and to everyone who has been with me on today's conversation. I've had majority of you very active and of course conversative. I appreciate Sana. And shout out to Ikan Fire. Shout out to Derek Askew. Thank you so much for popping in on today's show. I hope you've learned a thing or two about the cough syrup. We know, of course, again, those people are not going to get just being compensated, but they said no. But despite saying no, that's until when are we going to remain with this same same history where Africans will never get justice. Nobody's going to be questioned for their action. That is just my question of the day. Will you let go of the lecturing? We have to take down these puppets who won't stand up and be men because they want to keep on being pointed fingers at because of fake money. Fake money. Guinea? Are you sure Joe Mosquito make? Let me check that. Are you sure? Let me check. I don't think it was Guinea. I think it's Malawi or Chad. I tried looking at the video some time back. I think it was either pulled down from YouTube. So I'm not sure. Let me check. Children found on a plane in Guinea. Guinea, yeah. Okay. Let's see. No. I also took the video. Damn, what's this? I don't know that I'd see it, but I can't see. I think either they took the Malawi, because I remember there's a time I wanted to share when I was discussing child trafficking or some sort of topic, but Chad, yeah, okay, yeah, it must be Chad. Okay, if you find the video, kindly share it with me on the WhatsApp. I'd really appreciate. I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, family, I'm coming to the end of today's conversation. That is the discussion I had for you today. Nigeria, I can see the heads up about standing for who we really are as African people and the culture itself, which is really important because, again, like I said, we cannot keep on going with the flow. We've done that for so long, so it is enough. And Africa needs to make its own decision. We need to be the lecturers, not us being lectured. But much love, family. Asanteni sana once again. I see people popping in, but I'm coming towards the end of the show. Asanteni sana once again. Have an amazing morning, or rather, whatever the time is on your end. And see you guys later on the Black Kings frequency, or rather on the culture show tonight. I shall be the DJ.
I guess we should see how you want me back and all the decision. Try to come to my place, and it's so fun. So they so fun.